Hey everybody, 3KO Games here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and this one is a special one. Thanks for tuning in. If you've been watching my videos lately, you've seen me struggling in wars. I had one or two good ones recently, and then just a real streak of crappy wars. So, I reached out to my friends in the Content Creator Oasis and asked them, hey, everybody, how do you deal with a crappy war? The boards aren't going your way, you're getting horrible cascades, I don't know, you picked a wrong team, something, and you need to turn it around. So how do you turn it around in the middle of a war? Or how do you turn it around for next time and make sure that your efforts are a little bit better? And we have some wonderful content creators who gave me their answers in video form, so we get to watch another collaboration video. It is my turn to be the host. So we're going to talk about a little bit of strategy, a little bit of superstition, a little bit of life coaching, and all that kind of stuff with some fantastic minds. I hope you really enjoy this video. First up, we're going to listen to my good friend Harpy, my alliance mate, who has an incredible roster and is really just a thoughtful, smart, kind player. Just a great guy. Just starting out in the YouTube world. So if you have not subscribed to Harpy yet, please do so. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to enjoy his videos quite a bit.
Hey, Harpy here. I would like to thank 3KO for allowing me to collaborate with him on this video about what we do during bad wars, after the bad war, and what we try to prepare for in the future. Me, I used to be filled with anxiety. I'll give you an example. For those of you who don't know, 3KO and I are in the same alliance. My first war with 3KO's alliance, I thought I did so bad, I wanted to quit. I had anxiety over it. I felt horrible. I even told them I was quitting. They actually talked me out of it, and I started to relax. I still didn't feel confident about war. I couldn't get over that fact. I'd have anxiety, my stomach would hurt. I'd sit there and remake teams and everything else, but finally one day I just said screw it. And I started just looking at the teams, making the adjustments, and let happen what happened. And that started to help. I'd still get frustrated, and I had this thing I call a chucker phone. It was a spare old phone. And when I'd get pissed off, I'd throw that thing across the room. Well, as time has gone on, I've realized that my performance doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It's a team effort. And once I realized that it was a team effort and I'm going to have bad wars and it's up to my teammates to help pick me up, well, that changed my whole perspective on war, and I have never had a problem with it since. I'll swear once in a while, but most of the time, nope, doesn't happen. And I had the worst rush war this past week, and I ended up laughing because it was so bad. And I've gone on to help other people in our alliance get over the same problems. And all I can say is just relax. Don't worry about your score. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. And most importantly, just have fun with the game, because that's why we all play this game, is to have fun, not to put pressure on ourselves, not to drive ourselves crazy. Yes, we all want to do good, but if we can get past our ego and our pride and just play to have fun, we're all good. So that's all I have to say on this. I would like to thank 3KO once again for allowing me to contribute to this collaboration, and I hope to see you in the future. Thanks a lot, everyone. See you later.
Next, we're going to hear from my friend General J. He's got some really interesting philosophies on RNG when he does his pulls and when he has his wars, and I knew he would not disappoint when preparing a video here. So, enjoy this video, and if you are not subscribed to his channel already, go seek out his other stuff.
And hello there, 3KO, my man. Hello everyone, hello boys and girls. Thank you 3KO for letting me be a part of this wonderful collaboration video. And as I understand it, the topic here is how do we deal with the bad boards at war, bad attacks, losing flags, etc. etc. So basically, I don't. I have a pretty, complex strategy when doing wars, and I'm going to try to be short here, the shortest that I could. But I like to explain everything in detail, so I'll try to be more specific on what I do. So there is 4 things that I like to do before playing wars. So first of all, check your RNG. Second is probably, be a team player. Play in strategy with your team, with your alliance. Third one is time, and the fourth one is met your match. So I'll try to explain each one of them, going from 1 to 4. So first of all, from number 1, check your RNG. I have a question for everyone who's watching. Have you ever lost 9, 10 or 11 PvP matches in a row? Well, I have. And it's not because I suck at PvP, it's just because sometimes you have very, very bad RNG. So you cannot do anything on the board, no matter what team you take. So basically, yeah, I believe that every time you enter the game, you have certain RNG. I divide this RNG in 4 slots, so it's like number 4 will be like extremely bad. The black hole, I like to call it the black hole. So it stretches from regular PvP to tournaments to War of Three Kingdoms to regular wars. So basically, yeah, in regular PvP you do not lose much, but in wars, if you have very bad RNG, if you have very bad boards, it's going to affect you and it's going to affect your alliance. So maybe you don't win because of that. The third one would be like solid bad. The second one would be like solid good. And the first one is actually extremely good RNG. If you look at my, war videos from last, 10 wars, you will see that I have a very good streak of, very, very good boards at war. So I'm able to sometimes beat meta teams without, proper counter heroes. So yeah, that will be for RNG. So I always play 2, 3, 4 PvP matches before I log on. When I log on, to see if I'm not playing mono, I'm not a mono player, so I cannot rely on luck. I usually play 3-2 or 2-2-1, depend on the war. I do not have preset teams. I always change my teams, which actually helps me a lot in wars. And basically, I play a few PvP matches because I don't lose much in PvP. In tournaments, you want to be as high as possible. In War of Three Kingdoms, the same. And in Alliance Wars, you want your alliance to win, so you want the most points out of it. So yeah, that will be always check your RNG before you do wars. Play several PvP matches. If you see the board is extremely bad, just log off. Come back after 30, 45 minutes, 1 hour, and just do it again. The RNG is definitely going to be better. So that will be for number 1, check your RNG. Number 2 would be a team player. Play in a strategy with your alliance and listen to what your war leaders or alliance leaders tell you and how they play. If you find yourself in an alliance that is very strong, that has a lot of strong players, top 50, just honor the strategy. If they have a wave 1 or wave 2 or a clean ore phase, participate in all if you can. If, on the other hand, you find yourself in an alliance like myself, where you have 5 strong players or 6, and the other ones are like medium, or you have 3 or 4 very, very weak, you need to strategize. So you will see that in my war videos I mostly attack the most complicated defenses, because I do not hunt for points, I hunt for one shots, because I do not want my medium or lower level players to have to be stick with attacking meta defensive teams without having any roster variety or counter heroes. So basically I do not attack just Toons and Glass just for maximum points because they have most HP. I tend to attack at least 3 flags. I'm not that strong, but I'm stronger than some of my lance mates, so at least 3 flags on meta defenses, when I need to flip the board and stuff like that. So basically, don't be a douchebag, and if you just hunt for points, that's not a team player. So you need to strategize, communicate with your alliance mates, and try to hit the most powerful team if you are one of the most powerful players. So that is how I see it. The number 3 will be time, and this is what is really essential for my strategy. So if you just come in the last hour or hour and a half before the end of war, you won't be able to use this strategy, because you're online, you have to attack, you have to rush. You have 6 flags. Each flag can be extended to about 10 minutes. So you can find yourself in a pretty clutch situation without making any RNG strategy. So even if you're a stronger player, this could be very how could I say, bad for you and for your team. So always have time. I always have like 3, 4, 5 hours to do my war hits. Usually in the morning when I drink my coffee, I get up early just to have my coffee and before work, or it is late in the night, in the evening, when my little daughter is sleeping, so I can go and play. So basically always have time. Do not play fast, do not get yourself into situations to play fast. Just strategize. You have 10 minutes for each attack, and get yourself enough time to make a mistake, but you can maybe later get above it. And the fourth strategy tip will probably be, mate your match. It is considering who are you attacking and when. So basically, always try to counter tank and the strongest hero on the team. If any of you are watching my war attacks, you will see that I mostly, if I'm not countering the tank with the color, I'm countering with the heroes that are directly countering that hero. So if you do not have a roster variety, just don't go for meta defenses. If you're playing in a mid-level or lower-level alliance, you can always choose weaker opponents to hit if you yourself are a weaker player. So basically, always try to get maximum amount of your roster. Don't just go slam yourself against the strongest defenses if you do not have counter for it. So sometimes with my 6th flag, when my roster is kind of dry, I will try to just go for color, or maybe choose a weaker opponent. That depends, but usually it always goes good. So I strategize a lot who to attack and when to attack, but still I have some responsibilities in my alliance to attack the strongest defenses. I always look for a weak point. If a hero is not placed good in defense, if it's not maxed, if the troops are not the best, so I will leave my last 3 flags for that. So always try to know your heroes, know your roster, and you will know who can you attack and when. So 3KO, thank you a lot for allowing me to participate in this video. Guys, give him some love, give him some subscriptions. 3KO has really original and great videos. And thank you again. This is it for me, General J. See you out in the next video. Bye.
Next up is my man Claythor. Claythor, everybody, is a wonderful player, really top-notch roster, top-notch player. His music choices are like second to none, I gotta tell you that. And his summon videos are huge. So if you are not subscribed to Claythor, please give him some likes. You might think that you are already subscribed, but I know something happened and his account got deleted, so he started all over from the beginning. So double check that you've got your notifications turned on from my man Clay.
Mr. 3KO, Claythor here. How's it going, bud? First of all, thank you so much for inviting me to participate on this collaboration. I think it is a fantastic idea, the topic of, the ups and downs and the stress of alliance wars and how to, at the end of the day, deal with it, not only as an individual, but also as an alliance. So I hope your subscribers, your viewers are going to appreciate what we have to share today. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Clay. I go by Claythor Gaming. If you have not checked my YouTube channel, I would be honored if you could stop by and see what I'm all about and the type of content that I'm publishing on a regular basis. All right, so first of all, it's very important that we all understand that there are things we can control and there are things we cannot control, okay? So I will spend the next 3 minutes talking, first of all, about the things that we can control. So when it comes to focus on the things we can control, let's break that down into 3 different areas: pre-war, during war, and after war. Okay? So what I mean by pre-war, I'm just going to show you here. I actually have preset teams that I build, and throughout the week, I kind of play around. I use them for specific targets, and I provide feedback not only to some of the members of the Alliance, but I also learn a lot which defense formations I have better success using those teams, which defense formations I can take those teams again, because the preparation phase boils down to team composition, target selection, and then your overall board management. So how do you get better at those 3 things? There's no other way besides practicing. I would highly recommend, if your alliance does not have a chat group that only talks about testing, not a chat group where everybody's just coming talking about their personal lives and everything else. A very focused group that the only thing that is being discussed is how to put teams together, which defenses those teams have a higher rate of success, and bounce ideas off of each other. That is very valuable, and those are the things that pre-war will definitely help you perform at a higher level. All right, now let's talk about during the war. So we are about to face an alliance called Istanbul 1453. Big shout out to some of my friends who are playing at that alliance. So the first thing is follow your alliance rules. That is one of the very important things that sometimes when we are not executing and when we miss the first or the second flag, it's very easy for the emotions to take over, and suddenly you start doing things on your own and not thinking about the big picture, okay? So very important, follow your alliance rules. And if you are an alliance leader and your alliance does not have very clear rules, please put something together. It's very important for everybody to be on the same page. The other thing that I recommend doing right at the beginning of the war is take a screenshot here of the defensive formations of the opponent you're facing. And before starting any of your flags, take some time to really analyze the board and do a little bit of studying, okay? It's very important, again, that you use the teams that you have been practicing, right, pre-war. You identify the targets that you have used those teams against, and give yourself a chance to be successful. And the last thing that I would like to share, which fall into the category of things we do control, is what you do after a bad war. There's no better way for you to continue learning and developing than to re-watch your war hits and try to identify the opportunities that perhaps you missed. A lot of times we are playing a war and we are not being patient, we are not being as meticulous as we could, and we make a mistake, and that can cost us the match. And for you to be able to reflect on the things that you did well and the things that you didn't do well, there's no better way than just record your war hits and watch afterwards. Now, I spoke about the three things that we can control, right? Pre, during, and post-war. Unfortunately, despite of all the preparation, despite of selecting a target that you're 99% sure that you're going to win, and you're going to use a team that you have used hundreds of times, sometimes there will be a board. And no matter how you're cleaning it, or maybe it is rush and you do one move and then a cascade comes through and then Bernie charges. And then she turns everybody into painting. There will be situations that there's nothing you can do about. And I know very well how upsetting it is when you, despite of all your effort, you have the right team, you selected the right target, and you're trying to be careful, and suddenly a cascade comes and screws your entire match. So it is very important to set proper expectation, guys. First of all, it is very hard to have 6 OSs every single war. So each one of us have to have some specific goals. We have to know the role we play. Is going 4 out of 6 a good result for you based on the alliance you play, the level of targets you're hitting every single war, or is 5 out of 6 reasonable? You all have different rosters. You know what kind of teams you guys are facing every single war. So understand your role and set proper expectations. I have seen people saying, I'm quitting this game. I'm tired of this BS. I can't believe that this happened again. It doesn't matter which teams I take. I never get the tiles, blah, blah, blah. You know, I know it is very upsetting. But there are things that you need to understand that there's nothing you can do about. And you got to make peace with it. I'm 100% sure that if you do, despite of a loss, you're still going to keep your head up. You're still going to be with a positive attitude. You're still going to be encouraging your alliance mates and say, guys, don't worry. We'll get them next time. Because if everybody was winning all the time, right, we wouldn't be talking about this today. But for somebody to win, somebody has to lose. So there's no winning without losing in the great scheme of things. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Just quickly as a recap, focus on the things you can control. And if you break down the things you can control, you can divide them up in areas pre-war, during the war, and after the war. And don't worry about the things you cannot control. It's important to learn how to live with it, how to deal with it. It is part of this game. And you will not go 6 and 6 every single war. So if you are taking the time pre, during, and post-war to get better, to help your alliance mates, and you lose, don't worry. I actually sometimes are more upset with poor execution than with a loss. And I think that's the right outlook when playing this game. If you want to play Empires and Puzzles for a long time and you enjoy alliance wars, you have to learn how to deal with the frustration. There's just no way around it, okay? So if you're a player who find yourself very frustrated and it feels like it's a roller coaster of emotions, I hope the things that I shared with you today may help dealing with the frustration. Obviously, at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, what's the point? So, hang in there. Best of luck to you all on your upcoming wars. And 3KO, once again, thank you so much for the opportunity to share with your viewers some of my thoughts on this subject. Best of luck to everybody. Claythor out.
Next up, a new friend of mine here in the Content Creators Oasis. Just getting to know my man Jagri, putting videos out in English and in Turkish. Really thoughtful player. Fun videos. Plays in 7 Days Hunting. Also, really excellent taste in music. I think we share a lot of the same taste, so that's pretty awesome. Check his videos out.
Hello everybody, this is Jagri from 7 Days Hunting, and today I would like to talk about how to deal with shit war post trauma. And thanks to 3KO for this collaboration idea and this great opportunity to share our thoughts with the player base. And I would like to, thank everybody who is participating and helping the community as well, thanks to other YouTubers and decent players as well. So I'm not saying everybody's gonna do the same things, but I just want to express what I feel or what I am doing time to time. So these are my things, and I would like to, divide my thoughts in two parts. One should be about what to do, and the other part will be what not to do. So, first of all, I would like to say after a shit war or a bad war, I'm re-evaluating my roster and trying to see what kind of heroes I do have and how can I use them with their maximum benefit. I'm trying to set up new teams, sometimes changing war formations. Like sometimes I'm playing 3-2-3 attackers, 2 support heroes, or 4-1, or sometimes for instance for Bernadette, against Bernadette teams I am playing like the mono style time to time, because normally I would like to use 4-1 blues, but the Oniwa Kamaru is being the decent counter in this formation, so it's evolving into a mono. And another thing is just doing more practice. So doing more practice, I am mostly not doing cut drops, and I'm trying to face with harder enemies on raids, because if you are facing with meta defenses all the time, you know what to do in the real match. And another thing that I could recommend is watching successful players and being open-minded. There are lots of YouTubers, or even in your own alliance, I'm sure that there are many players who are doing great. And mostly, if they are doing mostly great, it means that they know something or they do something better than you or me or anybody who's not being successful. So we need to watch them and learn from them. And another thing I learned from the past is recording war hits. And you should be your own teacher. If you record your own war hits and if you rewatch it over and over, you are being the one who sees their own mistakes. For instance, I knew that whenever I fail, there are mostly two reasons. First, I picked the wrong enemy. Second, I play faster, or I am not playing when I'm comfortable, So this is probably the common things. And the things that we should not to do is, when you fail or when you have a shit war, do not rush to the portals and do great summons, because it's not gonna change anything. You're gonna be on the wasting your money. Instead of, pulling or doing crazy pulls, working on what you have and double limit breaking them makes more sense, so you can benefit to heroes more. And I am sure that everybody has at least a few good heroes to be using in 4 or 5 war teams, or maybe more. So another thing is that we don't need to rage quit, whenever we fail. I see that especially against big matches, like when we are playing against 7DD or Gypsy Danger or some kind of alliances, people rage quit. And believe me, everybody is having bad or good wars. And don't be hard on yourself, This is a game and it should be fun. This is not a business. This is not a work. We are not the soldiers of an army. So we are just playing, and we are maybe too ambitious and we want to be successful, but we should keep in mind that this is a game. And we need to follow the alliance rules and sticking with the war rules. This is another key point to being successful and avoiding a shitty war. And when you're moving the tiles, you need to see the big picture, Sometimes we are seeing different. Sometimes we are trying to find other combos and we are counting the tiles, the person should learn about the mana speed and how many tiles you need or something like this, the basic principles. So this is a game, yes, this is luck dependent and we all have RNG, but it's not just only about the RNG. So basically what I do is when I have a shit war, I'm always studying my videos, my own hits, and I'm asking my friends what to do or what will you do if you were wearing my shoes, So this is mainly what I am doing. And sometimes I have nothing to do and I'm just having fun and I'm just laughing and I'm saying, oh, fuck you, RNG, this shouldn't be. And I did all my best, but it's not working. We also have these kind of days. So at the end of the day, we are all having good wars and bad wars. And just keep in mind, this is a game and it should be fun. And cheers to all. And I wish you best of luck and success both in your wars and pools. And have a great day. See you. Ciao.
We've got the man, the myth, the legend up next, everybody. McNulty, the granddaddy of them all. I don't know how old you are, McNulty. I'm just calling you a granddad. But just celebrating 5,000 subscribers. So I assume you already know about his channel. But if for some reason you're living under a rock and watching me and not him, I don't know how you're living life. McNulty, thank you for your videos so much, and I hope everybody enjoys.
What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Thank you so much, 3KO, for letting me be a part of this collaboration on how to deal with difficult wars. To be fair, I'm not 100% sure how I deal with it, so I think we're going to find out. This is a pretty difficult looking team for me, but one of the main things is that I try and do is just try and kind of pick a team that I know that I've got a counter for, and not read too much or spend too long looking into the heroes cards, because that will just stress you out before you even start the battle. I know she puts up some protection. I know he's pretty dangerous if I've got too much mana. I know he's the tank because he's in the middle. And I know he gives growth. So basically my strategy is going to be to bring somebody that that just destroys growth. And that is my boy Fergus. So have your teams picked out, obviously, ahead of time. Have teams that you know will work. So this team here, I like to use Fergus with Nordica just to get him going a bit quicker. And actually, I put Nordica there, Fergus there, and then Mother North. Good old Mother North on that side. So yeah, that's basically my strategy, is not to spend too long thinking about it, because you just drive yourself crazy. At the end of the day, you have to get the tiles in order for your team to work. And there's nothing really that's going to change that. If you get a bad board, you get a bad board. So yeah, that's kind of my advice. But we'll see if I take my own advice now. So I do say like blue, 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 and I don't get any. But I do that. Oh, and I didn't even realize this is like a partial clean. So hopefully this will be all right. So got a diamond in the bottom left-hand corner. So we'll go ahead and take that. And then, like I said, with Fergus, the great thing is that I know that I can fire into Grimsteel, because if he gives the growth, it's not the biggest issue in the world. Hopefully I kill him. It'd be preferable if I do kill him. So I'm going to go ahead and try and kill him now. Done deal. Okay. And then I want to get my blues going. So it wasn't the worst board in the world. I mean, Lemonwood could still fire off. I think that's probably like, if he wrecked me, like that would be really annoying. Which probably is going to happen by the looks of things. And then Archibald's going to go off as well. But sometimes it doesn't bear too much thinking about. Like I could get a green come up here in the middle. So, you know, go for it. There's a chance. And now Lemonwood and Archibald are probably going to fire both at the same time. Like, it's good to think about moves that you're going to make on the board. But if thinking about the moves that you're going to make takes, you know, too long or just stresses you out too much, then just make the move you got to make. So if I make the red into the purple, I can see I'm going to have a blue match come up for my following turn. So hopefully if Lemonwood doesn't take everybody out, oh, blue match came up there. That's kind of unfortunate, because now good old Lemonwood is going to go to work. Ooh, that wasn't too bad, actually. And that wasn't too bad, actually, either. Oh, shit. That Mega Minion's a beast, though. Damn. Oh man, I hope I can get Mother North off. Okay, so the Mega Minion is giving me the biggest problem in the world. So you know, focus on whatever's giving you the most grief. Try and take it out. And I mean, if you can't, you can't. Like it doesn't work all the time. It's like it works 50%, 90% of the time, or whatever the saying is. So Mother North, can she revive? Yeah, that will do nicely. Right, so concentrate on your tiles, hope for the best, but expect the worst. Right, we're looking pretty good with this one, actually. I was kind of hoping for one that would frustrate the hell out of me, but this is what you're going to get. So basics of what I said still apply, though. Plan around, I would say normally plan around the tank. Try your best to plan a team that has a good counter for the tank that you're going up against. Don't stress too much because there is an element of randomness, and just enjoy it. And yeah, that's pretty much my advice, like in a nutshell. And if things do go awry, then don't be a jerk. Don't go in the chat and say how bad you did and like all the rest of it. Just, you know, I mean, if you really feel the need to, you can pop a quick apology. But I do feel like a bit more often than not, it's better to just like not do anything about it. I mean, go to your alliance mates and say like, look, I had a shitty war, or maybe even the leadership, if that's, you know, how your alliance kind of do it. But if people are slating you for having a shitty war, then just move alliances. There's plenty of alliances in the game. You can join another one. Anyways, I'm not sure if that's been helpful or not, but yeah, I do appreciate you letting me be a part of this collaboration, and I wish you guys all of the best. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
I originally had this person last because I didn't feel like anything could go after this one. But as the video got longer, I thought actually this would be incredible halftime entertainment. And I hope you appreciate that I'm calling it halftime entertainment. It is wonderful. This is Psychrosis, everybody. I asked Sai to do something, and he said, well, you know, let me see what I can come up with. And I had no idea it was going to be as wild as this. It's pretty amazing. Enjoy, and then stick around because Sai is the halftime entertainment and the post-show entertainment. We have a bonus video at the end from Psychrosis. Sai, take it away.
Greetings, loyal minions, beautiful humans. Welcome to the 3KO show. Firstly, huge thanks to 3KO for having me part of this collaboration. It's really an honor. I do appreciate it. We're here to talk about poor war performances and how we handle those. What most of you may not know is that I'm actually a qualified therapist. So rather than ramble on about what I do after a bad war, I've actually got a little bit of a treat. I'm going to play a recording of a therapy session about this exact topic. There might be some bad advice and there might be some good advice, but everyone will be able to take something away from this. So please enjoy. Sunday, February 3rd, 2025. Patient number 1347. So, tell me what's been troubling you.
I don't know. My wars have been really trash lately, and I've gotten help from Izzy, Sable, Nimbles, and I still lose. I just don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
Let's be clear. This sounds like it's all their fault. Have you tried yelling at those people, asserting yourself so that they perform better through fear?
I have abused each and every one of them for over an hour. Nothing helps. They don't even respond to me. Basically left me on red.
Typical toxic denial behavior on their part. You deserve better. Cut contact immediately. I suggest blocking them all. Have you considered flaunting your other friendships in front of them to evoke jealousy?
I will try that. I will kiss Armand Muncharmand in front of Frank Brimwell and see if I can make him cry. But I'm not sure he actually cares about my feelings.
Okay, let's try something else. How did your friend's behavior during these tough times make you feel?
Like, I don't really matter. Like, I'm just another random player to him.
Right, I see. Have you stepped back from the situation, replayed these wars, as you call them, in your head? Maybe you shouldn't focus purely on the result. Maybe it's a chance for honest feedback, review. What did you learn?
I mean, I suppose I did win a few battles. It's just things didn't go my way. I wanted to win them all.
Then maybe you're being too harsh on yourself. You tried your best. That's more than most people do. You showed up, you faced all of your demons. That's something to be proud of, and I'm sure you learned lessons for next time.
You're right. I needed this. Thank you so much. I don't usually get so caught up in a game.
Anytime. Just one thing. When you say game, what exactly are you talking about?
The game where I play war? You know, Empires and Puzzles.
This is a game?
Yeah, it's a game I play on my phone.
Are you fucking kidding me? For fuck's sake, this isn't your real life that you're talking about? Get the fuck over it. Go watch some Psychosis. Stay the fuck away from my office. I have real people with real issues to help. Okay, Mr. 3KO, you're next. How can I help you? Still struggling with war stress? Book your next session today. Now offering missed flag therapy, mono addiction support, and zero trauma recovery. Packages available. Side effects may include improved boards and irrational hope. Terms and conditions apply.
Next up, my man Dancing 007. His videos are so much fun. I love when he gets rowdy and swears. He's an opinionated, very thoughtful player, and I love watching what he does with his roster. So enjoy this video.
Hey friends, Dancing here. Welcome to the channel and a collab video. Cool idea that 3KO Games came up with about how we approach our war strategy and the whole jing-bang planning and execution process. So I said, okay, let's do this. All the videos and see how interestingly I used to swear at that particular time and how I have matured over the years. I felt really fake saying that word matured. So here it is. I am going to do one hit and try and encapsulate my thoughts. I personally don't plan for any of my wars. I'll be very honest. I think it's known. I don't have these fancy, mind-boggling, world-class moves. And yes, occasionally I do get criticized. People can have opinions, and I'm sure there must be some truth to it. But, of course, I constantly remind myself that I'm playing a game. And it's not somewhere where I have to prove myself in any kind of a way. That's the rationale for me not preparing in any sort of a way to have a crazy strategy. I go as it comes and see what happens, because there is something called RNG, and RNG throws the best laid plans useless. She went there. He's going to 100% hit Gazelle. There you are. That's one of my favorite lines. Watch. Oh, there you go. I shared one of my unique moments that I love to speak about. Yeah, that was fantastic. 3 tiles, knock the fucker off. Having said that, unfair treatment. This fucker is going to go only for Gazelle. See, you can see it right there. So the game has stacked everything against Dancing. I still keep playing the game. I really laughed my ass off seeing how brilliantly this guy Mega Minions whack, and especially when you see 2 nasty fellows do it, it's just super fun. I want to do a little bit of a combo, so I'm going to do this so it removes 1 and I am able to give a combo. A Minion Gang, to do a few knockout blows. Yes, I do swear and I enjoy while I'm playing these games. Very clearly, you'll find me emoting and at the same time speaking what I feel like speaking. As I'm recording this, I know the conspiracy fellows are aware that this is being recorded. They are ensuring that is no nonsense recorded, that poor gazelle is being constantly targeted. There you are. Conspiracy. In one shot, the two fellows knocked it off. Just awesome. I love to win. And sharing that I don't plan for any of the war. The aim is to constantly remind myself that I'm playing a game. And occasionally I do get into the zone of feeling competitive and I have to tone myself down. I bring in humor and that's part of my daily life. So that ensures that I am communicating and speaking exactly what I'm feeling at that particular time. Mainly coming from the aspect that 50% of the job that I do is I'm a coach. And that is the benefit that I enjoy, because whatever is our profession, whatever we do, we enjoy the benefits or we pay a price for that. But if you have noticed, I am not a slow-paced player. Also, I am not a good multitasker in many aspects. That's why I am very silent while I'm playing for two reasons. One, I like to be in the moment while I'm playing. And at the same time, I trust whoever is watching that the person is clever and I don't need to babysit the person. So these are some of the things that I do as I'm playing the game and doing my war hits and my regular gameplay and all the videos. And special shout out to 3KO Games. And yeah, I need to say this. Damn, I forgot. McNulty, congratulations for your 5K. Fantastic. Awesome. Cheers.
We have the one and only Combinator joining us. I'm lucky to play in the same family of alliances as Combinator and have even had him as a guest in ours. He's an absolute legend. If you haven't watched his videos before, just super smart. I didn't know if he would be the right call for this video, though, because I told him, like, have you ever had a bad war? He's just always, another 6 for 6. Look at that. There's another 6 for 6. Enjoy Combinator.
Hey everyone, Combo here, joining 3KO Games on this collaboration on what are good strategies to use when you struggle in war, and how to get out of that mindset or the feeling that the game is literally against you. So before I talk about what I like to do when that happens, I want to first talk about what I do leading up to war, because I think it is very important to prepare for war by doing a couple things. So before war even starts, I like to start practicing some teams. So I go up against a lot of Bernadette tank teams. 4, sometimes 5, sometimes even 6 Bernadette tanks every war. I'm in a pretty high level alliance and we see anywhere from 12 to 17 or 18. I've even seen upwards in the 20s for Bernadettes at tank. So I like to practice different chemistries of heroes together, doing raids against teams that would be comparable to what I would see in a war. And sometimes I would even ask some of my alliance mates to set their defense to something that we would see in a war type. I used to also do this for Fergus tanks, but honestly, Fergus tanks have become pretty easy and we don't see nearly as many of them as we used to. Now that there are so many heroes that are good counters for Fergus, but Bernadette is still pretty tricky and it's pretty crazy because she's been in this game for about 7 months at this point right now, and she is still a top meta tank in the game, which is wild. So I like to practice different types of teams together with different colors of counters for her. So that's the big thing that I like to do before war even starts. And then when war does start, when I am about to go attack, I think it's very important to get into the mindset of war, and the best way to do that is by going to raid against those teams that you would likely face in a war. Sometimes time may not permit you to be able to find those exact teams, so honestly, I just think it's a good opportunity to get into the game and do some regular raiding. If you've already asked some of your alliance mates to set their defenses to teams that you would see, then obviously it's going to make that easier. But I view this as kind of like warm-ups or practice before a game if you play sports. It's the stretching of the muscles, which is really, I guess, your brain muscles, and getting all of the shitty boards out of the way from Small Giant. So I think that that is extremely important before you start your war matchups to do some raids first. All right, so we've practiced with some teams before war even starts. We've done some practice raids before we've done our actual battles. Now it's time to use some war flags and what happens when I don't get a good start. Honestly, I try to have the quarterback mentality, like if you just throw an interception, completely forget about it and move on to your next opponent. So I try to have that mentality, but at the same time, keeping in mind some opportunities that I may have missed, especially when you consider the different war types that we go into each week. So maybe we were an equalizer war and I didn't take advantage of the buffs and ailments going away every 3 turns. Or maybe we are in Skyfire War and I forgot to add a dragon. Or maybe I wasn't paying attention enough to the ailments and the moth dust that I was getting every single turn, which was slowing down my mana, which was messing up my tile counts. I feel like there's a lot of little things like that that I notice after it happens, and those things are one of the reasons I like to do the raids before I do my war flags. There are a lot of different components to the game nowadays and a lot of different ways that enemies can screw you. So being able to identify when you did something wrong is extremely important so that you don't repeat those mistakes. I can confidently say that I have never broken a phone during a war match. And if you haven't checked out my war videos before, I do post my twice a week war hits on my own YouTube channel. And I offer those videos with commentary. I actually speak throughout the entire video, going through my tile movement, going through the timing of my specials, and going through the team selection I bring up against each opponent also. So if something like that interests you, definitely come by and check out my channel. Thank you 3KO Games for inviting me to join in on this collab. And if you are not already subbed to his channel, make sure that you do. He puts out some great stuff. I always tell 3KO Games that he sounds like literally the nicest person in the world, and he also seems like a really nice guy too. I am not in the same alliance as him, but I am fortunate to be in the same alliance family as 3KO Games, so I've gotten to know him pretty well. Again, if you are not subbed to his channel, definitely do so. He puts out some good stuff. And that is going to do it for my portion of this collaboration. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful, and if you did, hit that like button. Make sure you're subbed to 3KO Games, and I'll catch you guys next time.
My friends, I would like to introduce P Fuzzy. P Fuzzy's up next. I could listen to him talk about absolutely anything. I just love his voice. But luckily enough, we have him giving some wisdom about wars as an individual and as part of an alliance. Thanks, P Fuzzy. Enjoy.
Hey, 3KO Games. It's P Fuzzy here. I'd like to say thanks for letting me join in your collaboration about bad wars and how to deal with them. This one's going to be on a personal point of view and alliance point of view, as the last Undead Horde War was a bit like that for both myself and the alliance. So what happened was, at the start of the match, used my 3 flags, got 3 one-shots, was feeling great, absolutely fantastic, on top of the world. I thought this was going to be a great war for me. And then with the next 3 flags, 3 fails, unfortunately. And one of the fails was actually a clean that I was trying to do, and I had totally misunderstood the team I was going up against, and I think I ended up with a 0 on a clean. So I was gutted, absolutely gutted on that one. On an alliance point of view, there was 11 flags left in the war from 2 players. One of the players this was their first war with us. He left 5 flags on the table, and he's no longer with us. And the other player, who has been with us a long time, he left 6 flags on the table. but he lives in a part of the world where there's a lot of stuff happening, shall we say. So we kind of thought that was the reason why. He was offline for 5 days, but he's back with us now. Everything is good with him, I'm glad to say. He did apologise for leaving the flags, which, you know, that's great, but we did understand the situation. Oh, how do I deal with the bad wars? Especially with the ups and downs that I had in the last war. I just say, keep your chin up, think positive for the next war. We all know bad wars happen. It's not too much in pondering, not too much. Keep leveling the heroes, keep leveling your troops, and hope for a better war next time. Always go in with a positive attitude. As for the Alliance, because I'm one of the elder statesmen in the Alliance, you have to kind of G them up again, tell them to think positively. It was a tough loss, but we have to move on to the next one. And hopefully the next one will be a win. We have got quite a few of the core of our alliance is 5 years plus playing the game. So they all know things can happen. Flags can be left on the table. Sometimes you have, as long as there's a valid excuse, we're okay with that. Otherwise, we're not too happy with that. So, chin up, keep fighting, and I'm sure everything will be fine. On another note, 3KO Games, who has put together this collaboration, is nearing his 1,000 subscriptions to his channel. He's a very good YouTuber, so give him a watch and give him a subscription. Yeah, great. Thanks very much for letting me join in this collaboration, 3KO Games. And see you next time. Bye-bye.
Excited to have my man Andrew Chang joining us. Thank you very much for giving us a video, Andrew. Incredible Empires and Puzzles player, also a world Scrabble champion, just by the way. Pretty awesome. One of the few content creators out there still doing some live streams for war hits, so go check out his stuff. And now, check out this video.
Hey yo, just want to make this video to be part of the collaboration with 3KO Games. Huge shout out to him, and thank you as always for allowing me to be part of the collab. Now, we're talking about how wars can affect some players and what to actually do when you are facing a difficult war. And I think it comes down a lot to communication. Look, let's face it, if you're playing, regardless where you're playing in the top 10, you're playing in the top 100, you're playing in the top 200, you're playing in mid-tier or low-tier, there will be times where wars can be tough. And what I mean by that is when tiles are just simply not working out, you try whatever combination of teams, and you just find yourself in a position where you just can't get anything going. And I've been there before. I've been in situations where I just couldn't get anything going. I remember the worst war that I played was against back then the top 3 alliance, the number 3 alliance in the game, Aggressive. I think they were called RPEC at that point. And I didn't get a single one shot. In fact, I even posted that on my channel as well. That was basically my worst war ever. And I did feel bad about it, because one thing is, it's never nice to end a war with a potential of getting 300 points and you end up getting like 38 points or 36 points. I can't remember what it was. And it was definitely demoralizing. But the one thing to take out of that is that these do not cascade into the next war. Like, if you get a bad war this time around, it doesn't mean that for the following war you're going to have the same problems. Tiles are never meant to be like that. What actually happens is you would have to look back at your teams and figure out what you could have done differently. Like for example, if you're going against a Bernadette and you bring 0 Bernadette counters, well, that's on you, right? Because if Bernadette fires because the tiles, the board doesn't shape up to be a very good board, then you know it's on you for not bringing a Bernadette counter. And certain situations like if you're going against like right now the current meta is going against Saris, right? So if you go against this kind of combination, like having a Saris and a Gongolf, both of which give Wither to your team, if you're in this position and you don't bring something that gives you growth or something that gives you the sort of like Wither clans like the Garrison Guard heroes, well, that's on you, because then it makes the war just so difficult to try and come back from, right? So a lot of this is about reflecting what has happened in the previous war and try to see what you could have done differently. Remember, there are 6 war flags, and not all those 6 war flags can be different. Not all 6 war flags are interconnected with each other. So what I mean by that is, if you lose your first flag, you can just shake it off, take a break, and come back for flag 2, and it will have a different RNG completely compared to what has happened in flag 1. Now, unless you are on tilt, which I strongly advise against, what you should be doing is taking a deep breath and just figuring out, okay, let's say for example, if I were to look at this board and I say, okay, I want to help my team out, I want to take out some of these Bernadette tanks, so what do? I look at this team, for example. Okay, let's start from here. Number 1, there's a Bernadette here, so you need to have Bernadette counters. How many counters are you going to bring? Are you going to bring 1? Are you going to bring 2? Then you look at Saris. Saris is there who's going to silence your team, so definitely you need your cleanser. Saris is going to wither down your team, so what do you bring? You need to bring something that prevents that wither from impacting your team, something like an attack up, or a something that cleanses out the wither like a Garrison Guard hero, or you bring a growth hero yourself, someone like, if you're in the mid tier, something like Mei as a hero of the month, it would be a nice one to add, or something like Grimsteel, for example, someone like Pepperflame to kind of help you actually deal damage once Saris goes off a couple of times. And then you have the mobs, which means your cleansers that you bring, you have to take into consideration the passives here. So always read, look into their defense, read the heroes that are there, and figure out the team that you're going to bring against. My advice would be not to have too many fixed offense teams that you bring for war. You need to be a bit more flexible. You need to see what is happening against the defense that you're trying to bring, and try to work your way into figuring out an offense team that fits the bill of trying to deal with these defenses. One downfall I see with a lot of players is that they stick to one team and they refuse to budge, refuse to swap out heroes depending on the defense that they are going against. And when they lose, they just say that, oh, my team usually works and it doesn't work this time. Why? Well, go back and have a look at it. And I think a lot of this, at the end of the day, is about reflecting, and it's about understanding where you could have done differently and how you would have done differently for the next war. And as always, just have fun. Wars are, for me, the best part of this game, because it allows the 30 of you to come together to bring each other up. If you're having a bad war, someone else will have a good war, and that someone else will help you carry the team for the time being. In the next war, if you are doing better and he's doing a little bit worse, he's always it's good to always know that each one of us has each other's back in order for us to win the war. So I hope that helps, and shout out again to 3KO for bringing us together to do this video. I'll catch you guys next time.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never win with these boards this shite, but then I spent so many nights just raiding on the fly, and I grew strong, even pulled the new OP guy. And so I'm back from outer space. I just logged in to find find your tank still standing there in that same place. I should have brought some more Dispel. I should have changed my mana speed. If I had known for just one turn, you'd pop off and kill my team. Come on now, go. Walk out the door. I don't need your fancy heroes or your 5-star metaphor. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with a moth? You think I crumble? You think I rage quit like a boss? Oh no, not I will revive. Even when I flee in shame, my next hit I will thrive. I've got boards to rearrange and a kitty that's deranged. I will revive. I will revive. It took all the strength I had not to break my phone. Spent hours meditating with a screenshot of a crow. I put crystals on my chest, burned sage near my screen. Even tried that thing they do on YouTube with a healing screen. 'Cause now I prep with voodoo chants. I whisper to my troops and make them do a lucky dance. I check my calendar for moon phase luck alignment time. 'Cause let's be real, war hits a pain and this needs to rhyme. Oh no, not I will revive. I no longer scream or cry, I just mono and survive. I embrace the RNG, let it wash right over me. I will revive. I'm dead inside, but alive. I mean, it wasn't me. It was the tiles. The tiles fucking hate me. Probably cursed I should cleanse my roster. Maybe sacrifice a 3-star virgin. Something's off with my aura. Maybe it's because you haven't subscribed.